us, then who? If not now, then when? Came a plea from within me. I feel we are in these positions for a purpose that requires a grace that I have to pray for God to provide daily. Anyone familiar with me knows that grace is not one of my natural traits. In my 20s and part of my 30s, I rejoiced in its absence. And just as I was born into conservatism with the birth of my first child, so was I born into the truer understanding of grace as my oldest child grew. Grace is hard. I think it's harder to forgive wrongs than to apologize for them. It is so much easier and satisfying to cut someone down, to rhetorically destroy him. God knows I've done my share of that. It's easy to obliterate someone in a debate, but much harder to persuade him to share your perspective. You have to bore through ego to do that. And let's face it, many people are too thick-headed. No one wants to admit wrongdoing because apologies are viewed as worthless formalities signifying surrender, and forgiveness is in short supply. People don't want to apologize because other people aren't interested in seeing the wrongdoer redeemed, so what's the point in trying? It's a vicious circle that has produced a rabid binary tribalism in our political discourse and in society at large. As I said, I'm not feeling very grace-oriented right now in life. I pitched this book in 2017, well before the chaos, and got to work shortly after it was accepted. You are now listening to this book several months into the future of my present time. I regretted ever pitching this book to my publisher, Regnery, with whom I have long wanted to work. I go back and forth between torching the premise of it and replacing it with a list like Arya's from Game of Thrones. I'm emotionally drained, cantankerous, feeling rather merciless, and would prefer to tell people to do something unflattering to themselves any place but near me. I'd say the timing of this book is a cruel twist of fate, but it's not. It's perfect timing. It's all the more reason I need to write this book. My willingness to live out my belief in grace is being tested right now. God is not without a sense of humor. That I, of all people, am writing a book on grace is a reason for you to listen to it. I know what it's like to receive undeserved grace, and so do you. And we all know what it's like to deny it to others. Our society at large is addicted to that feeling right now. Nuanced, insightful debate is dead. Sound bites and outrage rule the news cycle. People are so poisonously partisan that finding common ground is viewed as capitulation and compromise is assumed to include a forfeiture of principle. Politics used to be a nuisance, but extreme polarization has made it wretched. My social media timelines and comments are filled by, often verified, partisans who think that typing their invectives in all caps amounts to informed debate. A simple disagreement is an attack on their character. Refusing to affirm their opinion as fact is an affront to decency, a reason for them to boycott, burn, attack, and smear you. Other Republicans are eager to prove their bona fides to whichever non-Fox cable outlet will identify them as a contributor. These self-appointed bouncers of the right indict fellow Republicans and conservatives as sellouts for supporting Trump, even as they put aside long-held conservative principles like the right to life, lower taxes, and border security. They preen for the cameras, take screen grabs of their hits for Instagram, and celebrate that people are finally taking them seriously now that they have swapped their poorly written, vanilla wafer takes on Republican policy for over-rehearsed, snarky denunciations of the administration and everyone who supports any part of it. You want a cable contributor deal, a book deal, and your name in the chyron? Talk about how, sure, Trump cut taxes, fueling rapid economic growth, lowered unemployment for every demographic, including high school dropouts, and actually made good on all the talk about moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. And, okay, he expanded the GOP by throwing the tent over blue-collar workers worried about losing their jobs over PC pronouns. But his tweets. He cheated on his wife. And don't forget the Christian version, which excoriates believers who like the president's tax cuts, stabilized foreign policy, and record low